Hi, this is a 2005 Yamaha TTR 250. My name is Craig, and I'm not a mechanic. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a case of an oil change gone bad. What I tried to do, obviously, is change the oil. I got underneath the bike, and I tried to unscrew the oil bolt. Again, I'm not a mechanic, and I don't know what I'm talking about as far as the terminology, but the dadgum bolt that you have to unscrew to let the oil out, it's stripped out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the motorcycle. It's upside down. Here's the bolt that you take out to drain the oil. You can see that it's stripped on the top. What I did in the beginning was I took a number 12 wrench, put it on there, tried to loosen it up, and it just stripped out the bolt. Then I took some vice grips, put it on there, tried the vice grips. Those stripped it out, even made it worse. So what I had to do then was take a file. I filed it, tried to make some square edges so that I could get the vice grips back on it, or a wrench of some type. Tried the vice grips again, stripped it out all over again. I even went down and bought one of these things. It's a socket with spring-loaded rods on the top that form fit to any shape of a bolt head, and that didn't even work. It stripped it out again. So now I've developed another plan, and I'll show you what that is. JB Weld. This is my plan. With a tensile strength of 3,960 pounds per square inch and can be used in temperatures up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It's never been that hot in California. I think this is going to work, along with this nut. It's called a castle nut because it has these indentations on the top of the nut that make it look like a castle. I think that's what it's called. This is my plan. I'm going to take this nut and weld it on top of the oil drain bolt. Then, with a 1/2-inch wrench, I'm going to unscrew that bolt, and hopefully it's all going to work out as I planned. We'll see. Okay, so what I've done is I read the directions. It said to sand the surface of the area that you want to weld with rough sandpaper. I did that. Said to clean with like thinner or denatured alcohol. I did that. So what else I'm going to do here is I got some electrical tape. I don't have any masking tape. I'm going to tape it around this bolt to kind of make a bowl is what I'm looking for. I don't want the JB Weld to spill over onto the regular motorcycle here and therefore weld this thing. I don't want to weld that bolt there. I just want to weld the nut on top of the bolt. So I'm going to tape it off with some electrical tape. That's all I had. It'll be interesting to see if this JB Weld works. You've all heard the stories about JB Weld and how strong it is and what it's capable of, like the man who busted his crank or his engine block on his vehicle and used JB Weld to weld it back together, and it worked just fine. Or the one about the Frenchman who was in his garage in Florida when an alligator, a very large and hungry alligator, came in there and was getting ready to eat him, and all he had was a pack of JB Weld, and he threw it in the alligator's mouth, and after chewing it, the alligator's mouth was welded shut, thereby allowing the man to walk past him safely. I know it sounds outrageous. I mean, why would a Frenchman be in a garage in Florida? But nonetheless, that's the story. And if it can handle an alligator, I think it could handle this. So I'll put the JB Weld in there, then put the nut on top of it and go from there. Okay, I've mixed up the JB Weld, and I've got this little piece of plastic that I'm going to use to scrape it off into the bowl. And got some more here. Scrape that off. Get it in there. So there it goes. Looks like it's kind of messy too. Okay. I'm going to kind of mash it down in there and make sure it's gotten on all the surface of that bolt in there. Set that aside. Take the castle nut. With the little indentations down, I'm going to slip it right inside there. I'm going to press it down onto that bolt. Press it in there. There's a little bit that came out on the top. That's good. I just kind of want to spread that around. Okay. There we go. I don't know if I did it right or not, but we're going to let that sit and dry. It says to let it dry for 15 minutes or 15 hours. So I'm going to go with overnight. And we'll come back tomorrow and see if it works. Okay, so it's been more than 15 hours. It's actually been 2 days. I've let it sit. I took it into the garage, let it sit. I even put a small light underneath the motorcycle so that the light would heat up that JB Weld according to the directions. So now it's just the moment of truth. I took off the white tape off of this bolt, and there was JB Weld all around on the outside of that. It just looked like one round cylinder there. So I had to take a knife, scrape off the JB Weld so I could get the wrench on it. Earlier I'd said it was a 1/2-inch wrench. It's not. It's 3/4. So now that I've got the JB Weld off of there and I'm able to get the wrench on, the other thing that I've been doing is I've been using this liquid wrench, and I've been taking this liquid wrench and periodically putting a bead of that liquid wrench around there, so hopefully loosen up the connection between the drain bolt and the motorcycle. So now it's just a matter of trying to see if this JB Weld is strong enough and it'll hold that bolt and it'll help me to get this off. And so I'm just going to try this now, see if I can get some leverage on here. No, it did not. So here's the bolt. There's the bolt, the drain bolt. It's still off. And either one of two things. Either the JB Weld did not hold as good as it said it would, or I've got 3,960 pounds per square inch force in these hands. So I gotta try something else. Okay, I did it. I was able to get this drain bolt out of the motorcycle, and I'll show you what I did. I went to Orchard Supply and I bought this. It's a product, a little drill bit called Drill Out, and it worked wonderfully. Here's what you do. You take the drill bit, and if you look at it here, it has two pieces, the actual bit, and then there's this piece that kind of screws in and out on the drill bit itself. You take that, you put it into your drill. It says you need a 3/8 drill. That's what I have here. You take this piece and you screw it all the way on to the chuck itself. Then here's the scary part. You got to drill straight down onto the bolt. If you drill sideways, one way or another, you're going to end up damaging the threads that's inside the thing that your bolt goes into. So you don't want to damage that. That's going to cause you all kinds of problems and money to repair that. So you go straight into the bolt. Once you're down in there, you take this thing back out. Then the package says to screw this out away from the chuck 5 turns. I did that, screwed it out 5 turns away from the chuck. You put that thing back in there, and you're in reverse the entire time. Again, in reverse. Then it says to plunge it down into the bolt. I did that. I started drilling in reverse, and just like magic, this thing popped, and the whole bolt started to unscrew out of the motorcycle, and it came all the way out exactly the way the package said it would do. So now that it's out, I got to be careful because there's lots of metal flakes along the outer rim here, and I don't want to get metal flakes inside the oil, so I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to just seat it on there very lightly so I can turn the motorcycle over and drain the oil out and put the new bolt in. But there it is. I was able to do it. I really want to thank Drill Out for making a great product that does exactly what you said it would do. It helped save me a lot of money, I'm sure. I also want to thank another very important person. That is my cameraman. This is Adam. He's been with me the entire time. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time when I try and do something.